Welcome to Truck You Podcast. My name is Sebastian.
My name's Jose.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good, man.
We published the first episode yesterday. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. Looks like it got some good views on there.
Yeah, we got some good I think good traction there.
Yeah,
hopefully
definitely.
We can step it up a little bit with the quality. I think the voice, the recording, it turned out pretty good.
The quality is pretty good.
We'll see about the angle of the camera, but all right. So that would be episode number three that we're doing. 2 is in I'm working on it right now. So number 3, before you buy a truck, that's something that's one of our most watched videos on Truck You. And have you seen that video?
Yes.
Yeah. So my delivery is so bad because I'm like doing a lot of ums and stuff. But that was like one of my earlier, like videos that I I don't know, it's been beginning of the year, winter, or April, March.
You started like somewhere in February, right? The channel around there, or
no? I started it. What do we have right now? November,
October.
So beginning of the year,
Okay.
January. Yeah. So that's the weather was nice, so it was probably like March, April, or something like that. So before you buy a truck, number 1, knowing what you'll do with the truck, right?
Knowing what you're going to be basically hauling.
Why do you think drivers should know what they're going to do?
So you know how to spec out your truck. If you're going to be doing dump work or over the road, regional.
Yeah, and sometimes deciding that, because I'm trying to have the perspective of a driver, and I think this is something that could give you your angle on it is like, okay, now I'm gonna get my CDL. What I would think about,
right? Since
all the knowledge you have gives you a kind of advantage over somebody that's thinking about buying a truck and it's been either just driving or thinking about getting CDL or things like that. But knowing what you'll do is like not unnecessary. Sometimes the guys just don't know what they're gonna do, right?
Yeah, no, they're undecided and they just.
Yeah, so definitely highway running versus, let's say, heavy haul. What would be the difference that you would look at?
Transmission, differential, gear ratios.
Yeah, so what are some gear ratios that you would consider highway running or heavy haul?
Highway, I would say like a 336, heavy haul. I mean, if you're going to be doing dump truck, you want to go like in the 4s.
Yeah, in the 4s. And have you heard about the direct drives?
No, I haven't.
You never heard of that? All right. So, you know how let's say you spec, you have I'll give you an example. A 10-speed transmission direct drive is, the rear end ratio of the diff is 278.
Okay.
And the final gear on the 10-speed is 1-to-1.
Okay, yeah, 1-to-1.
Right.
Yeah, the 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, so so Schneider actually spec'd a lot of their fleet like that, and they were showing up on the market. I think I have 2 of them.
Okay.
And the fuel economy is really great because you literally on highway
last
running
gear,
and the last gear
you're right there.
Yeah, there's a lot less friction.
Yeah.
And it's just, if you spec it with the right tires, it's such a good setup.
Right.
And I don't know if you've seen the ratios on the newer automatics. They're all in that range.
Okay.
Because the final gear, they figured out that the final gear was a lot more efficient. Right. So that they were anything to bring the fuel mileage obviously is key, so we can keep
definitely,
more
especially for a big fleet like that.
Fuel. Yeah. But I've noticed the switch from manufacturers like realizing it really actually matters when you can see it when you run 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that you want to look at, is knowing what you'll do, because then when you're going to 411s, and I've seen that before when the guys are running, regional OTR on
that ratio.
rear end ratio, and it's like,
it's a big mistake right
why
there.
is my fuel mileage so bad? Well, 18 speed.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely beneficial to kind of
have an
make
idea
up
of
your
what
mind.
you're going to be doing.
Yeah, make up your mind, right? What else could we talk about that area with speccing? Because as far as rear end ratios and transmissions, it's also aerodynamic or classic that comes in the same
Category.
bucket,
Yeah.
right? Because obviously you can spec a nice truck for the highway, but if it's a classic, you will feel that in fuel mileage.
Oh, definitely with the long hood and then,
yeah. So like one of our favorite, the classic XL, they come. You can I've had an experience with really well spec truck, and then you just drag. It's just like a wall on the highway. So it's
like all that wind drag right there.
Yeah.
All resistance right there.
But again, if you below 60, I think when you're slowing down, that's when the wind resistance is less.
Yeah.
So you have to really slow down. I don't know anybody that drives less than 60.
No.
I know either. Right? But it is important because obviously the fuel is the number one thing that's evaporating out of your pocket if you're not. I have first-hand experience with my fleet having the fuel, like one of the single most important.
That's one of the biggest expenses.
Items, on your balance sheet, on your P&L. I'm like, holy, like you really need to know your and as an owner operator, you control that because you can slow down. I drove 63 was my max. I never.
That's where you realized that was your best fuel economy, right?
Yeah, it was in sevens. So, all right, number 2, maintenance knowledge.
Yeah, that would be mainly know what everything's going to cost you. Pretty much know your PMs, grease jobs. Let's see.
Oil changes for obviously for your rig and your maintenance schedule, but knowing what needs to be changed, addressed at
the service.
But at certain
mileage.
Yeah. Because like we talked about it last time, when you buy a truck and you don't know the maintenance record and it's right before everything has to be done, then you're literally adding that cost to your purchase, and you're like, I just spent all my money on that truck, and then all of a sudden you have to.
Well, I mean, if I were to buy a truck for the first time, and I would change all the fluids, divs and trains, and an engine, obviously.
Yeah, which is what we usually do.
Well, with
when we buy
recent purchase,
yeah, for Era, we're pretty much doing that all around. That's like the given thing.
That's like
but
definitely. So you know what fluid you're putting in there. You don't know what kind of cheap fluid they put in there.
Yeah, I would mention one thing though. Maintenance knowledge. It is beneficial if you're able. I think I talked about it before. To pull an oil sample.
Yeah,
oil when you buy one, because rarely, if you're buying a fleet truck, they swap the oil before they sell it. They know when they're going to sell it, and they're not swapping they're not changing the oil. So pull it if it's possible to,
pull an oil sample,
send it to a lab.
Yeah, it's really not. How much is it going to cost you? Like $30, I think, roughly.
Yeah. It's not. And then if you can online, there's a lot of guides that you can kind of follow and see what shows up.
Yeah, what shows up, and then it's like a big chart. It's going to tell you what the percentage is.
We should do one. And what's funny? When I was driving, I was thinking, one day when I'll have a fleet, I'll do all the samples on all of them. Right? Why do you think that didn't happen? No, it's just like so many things that.
I mean, there's always something going on that you.
Yeah, and still keeping track of. It would be, because if we had a oil purifying system on the truck, it would make sense because we would save on oil. But it's just there's so many things going on that just pure lack of time.
Yeah, pushing it to the side for now.
Yeah. Maintenance knowledge. What else?
Finding a truck.
Finding a truck. That would be number 3. Yeah. If you know So you know what you're gonna do with it. You know general maintenance, not
Basics
about maintenance, and then finding a truck, which is the most fun you can ever have, is searching.
That's gonna be a lot of work right there. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of test drives for sure.
Test drives or even that's
financial,
one thing, screen time, because you got to dig it through eBay's and truck papers and
Craigslist, all that.
Craigslist, yeah. There's a good app. It's called BRZO, and what it does is you can set a search.
Okay.
And it pulls from all the Craigslist in the U.S.
Oh,
or
nice.
even I think even in the world. So. Stefan. So you're literally pulling all the Craigslist listings,
and then you're just getting a notification to your phone.
Yeah,
okay.
When it shows up, and I've been using that a lot. And you just have to be careful how you do the searches, but it's super cool because like you can dig out trucks that otherwise you can find on eBay or truck paper, because a lot of guys just don't use it. It's like in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. The guy posts a cool truck, and then and he's not, he doesn't know how to do eBay. So definitely finding a truck. What about finding a truck? Do you think a new guy should be
like what to look keep an eye out on, or
briefly? I think we should do a separate episode on that, because we can get somewhat like
there's a lot of things that we can get into on that topic. But
like
briefly,
briefly, what would you?
I would say obviously oil leaks, but we all know that when you're gonna go buy a truck, most likely you're gonna pressure wash the truck and try to hide everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, what do you think, like a most significant thing? I mean, the whole walk around the truck is
basically
is
a pre-trip inspection, basically.
Yeah,
like you should be doing daily.
Yeah. Blow by.
No, that's number one. Yeah. That's number one. I mean, I was gonna keep that for the next one, but yeah, I wanted to get more into detail on that.
We could, if we shoot one, I don't know, we could definitely do a podcast and do a list for people to listen, but that's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a good video.
It'd be walk around, blow by, check the stack, how the stack looked. You got some oil residue. Check the S pipe right behind the turbo. You got some oil residue. You know, something's going on inside.
Yeah.
Or it could be the turbo itself. There's a lot of variables.
Yeah. Tire wear is going to tell you a lot.
This way you'll know. You should know tire wear. That's number one. You're gonna know what's going on in the front end. Have your pocket ready. Yeah. Well, obviously, you're gonna take it to the local shop. Have the front end checked out. Kingpins are gonna cost you roughly what?
Yeah, but you know what I from a buyer's standpoint, what I find difficult sometimes is when you're looking for a truck is to literally convince the seller to let you take the truck. You really have to be like you have to,
or they can ride along with you. If they really want to sell the truck and they're comfortable with the truck and they know they're selling something good, they'll go with you.
Exactly.
But if they're trying to screw you over,
if they're hiding something.
Oh yeah.
Or it's their time, but also you can pay them for their time.
Yeah.
Right? Because you tell them, hey, I'll pay you $40. Can you come with me just for an hour?
If they want to sell the truck, they'll go.
Yeah. And respect some people's time for sure is key, because now he's like, crap, I got to go with him, do that, and he doesn't want to do it. But if he really wants to sell the truck and you tell him, hey, I'll pay you, and it's 40 to 100
Dude, what if
bucks.
he's a potential buyer?
Yeah.
You got to take it.
Yeah. And at the same time, even if you lose that $100 when you're paying, it's still worth it because you didn't buy a turd.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, but let's keep a note for finding a truck. That's going to be a good episode. All right, number 4.
Truck shop.
Yeah.
Finding a good loyal truck shop. Always giving you tips. Guys that you can call anytime. Random issue going down the road, and you can call them up and answer the phone. They'll tell you. They'll guide you step by step.
Have you seen, and that's your perspective, is from my experience, but your perspective on the back end of the kitchen of a shop. Do really mechanics and owners but are willing to help in a lot and be 100% honest on it? Because I know it's tough.
I mean, I do help out guys that they have called me, and I never even met the guys. They got my number through one of my buddies.
No, I know you do, but
there's actually
a
few. There's There's a few of us that actually want to help guys out.
Yeah, what's the trend? Because it's the what I'm trying to say is it's like a delicate angle of being and demanding, because I know how it is with us, right? Like we generally want to help, but we have somebody coming in and demanding their time. It's like in between our day, how we're running and we're busy. It literally the distraction. Yeah. So creating that that awareness about somebody that's trying to do that. If we have guys come in here, because I talk to people all the time, and they come in and like, I want to buy a truck. I saw your video and it helped me. And I'm like, okay, great. I like let's talk about a few minutes, but like watch more and then shoot me an email. Like I spend time replying to everybody, right? And kind of keeping track of it. So if I can have more time and sit, and we should probably dedicate some time maybe in the future to have either people calling or coming, or we'll figure that out. That would be nice, you know what I mean? Like if you try to establish that relationship with a truck, you'll get that pushback because everybody's so busy and working on things.
I mean, but they got to understand as well. I mean, they're busy too.
Yeah, but I had a guy call me once. It's a funny situation, and he started asking me all those questions, and I'm just like, I will give it to you, but I'm not going to hang on the phone with you for 30 minutes. Either stop by here for a second, because I was looking for a driver, and he didn't qualify. And I was like, I got to go. Like, I'm blowing up my phone, so I'm busy, right? And he just kept like, hey, what can you tell me? I'm like, you have to be respectful of somebody's knowledge and time. And that was when I was like, okay, there's definitely demand for it, but also like go out and do the homework, research, and you'll find.
I mean, we'll do our part, help them out, and they got to do their part as well.
Yeah, true, awesome. Number
5, it's what
current company. Buying a truck from current company, and or knowing a fleet, or like I bought trucks from a fleet that I knew. I bought a couple of them and they were good, and I'm like, okay, I'll take the rest.
Right.
But so if you're driving a truck for a fleet and they're either thinking about selling, and you have a good relationship with the fleet manager or dispatcher, like, hey, if you guys
ever decide to sell trucks, let me know. I'll definitely buy one.
Yeah. And that's also a good approach, because oftentimes fleets will try to drop the fleet, sell the fleet quickly, right? So they either go to a company auction or somewhere, but if you know the right person, they'll do a quick transaction with you, and that's definitely. I mean,
especially if you know the maintenance guys, you get along with the guys in the shop, and you know that they do some good work. Why not?
Yeah. Or and then it's just a matter of finding the one you drove, or finding one that's also taken care of inside, because I mean,
obviously you're going to be there 10-12 hours a day, so you want something that's nice inside.
Yeah, but plus how many times you have fleets that have trucks that are well taken care of, and your truck is nice, you're like, okay, cool, I took care of it.
Yeah, you took care of it.
Somebody else is like, you could really have a good truck, and the interior is completely crap.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good point. But yeah, so those are the 5 key elements. So you want to summarize?
Yeah, we went through the knowing what you're going to be doing. That's what you're going to be running, line haul, over the road.
Just so it helps you not only with
specs, pick a truck, but make it easier for yourself.
Yeah. Number 2,
maintenance knowledge. You should know some basics.
Yeah, and that's the ocean of knowledge that you should probably have, and it's always learning, I think, from anything.
Well, you never stop learning every day, on a daily basis.
And especially for those guys that run, I think, when they think about buying a truck one day and they're not learning every day from their truck that they're driving, like learn on somebody else's dime.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what I'm getting at, right? Number 3, finding a truck. That's also fun. Take your time.
Yeah, I'll definitely take your time. Don't just jump at the one with the nice looks or low mileage,
Yeah. And 4, truck shop relationship.
Find a good shop,
Mechanics that know what they're doing.
That are willing to help you out.
How do you do that, though? Like, I'm going to go on.
I mean, it's going to take some time to build that relationship with that.
How do you know a shop is good?
I mean, you got to go into that shop, whichever shop you decide to go to. You feel you'll see on what feedback you're getting back from the manager, the mechanics. If you ask, you bring your truck for a PM, if they let you know something's going on your truck, obviously they're looking out for you, right? They don't want you to break down on the road.
Communication, right?
Communication, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, 100%. And buying from your current fleet, number 5, buying from the company, So, I think you have anything to add? What do you think?
I think this is a pretty good episode.
Pretty some solid,
yeah.
Let's.
We'll get into more detail on the other stuff.
On the video, we'll
what to look for.
Out. Yeah, and that's also. I don't know how we should do it. Maybe out like in the shop, buy a truck. It's getting cold, so we're gonna have to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be inside the shop.
Yeah, but we can do either a walk around, but I still want to record it here so we can have a good quality audio and have a good content. So awesome, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right.